y'all, the holidays are around the corner, so it's time to roll out the dessert recipes. We're starting out with this 7-Up pound cake that we made a homemade glaze for and dusted with powdered sugar. So we're going to need all-purpose flour, sugar, and then you'll also need butter and eggs, vegetable oil, lemon extract, and of course the star of the show, 7-Up. We're only going to use a half a cup of that. Alright, so let's start by putting our cake together. We're going to cream our butter and our sugar together first, and then we'll start adding our eggs one at a time. So just pour your sugar right into your bowl. You want to use a large bowl so you have plenty of room to work with. And I'm just using a hand mixer. You don't need a stand mixer for this recipe. And then just start blending it together. It won't be super creamy until you start adding the eggs. Alright, so we got it to about a good consistency right here. So we're going to get ready to start adding our eggs right in. Alright, y'all see that there? Alright, here we go. And there's egg number 1. And then you want to make sure that you mix well after the addition of each egg. Alright, so that's good to go. So we're going to go ahead and add egg number 2. I want to show you all the addition of each egg. I just think it's important to show you all each step so you can see how much the batter changes with the addition of each egg. You want to add the eggs one at a time just to make sure that you have them fully incorporated into your batter. Alright, that's egg number 3. And you can see it's kind of coming together now, really getting creamy. You can also scrape the sides of your bowl as you go as well, but I just kept blending for the meantime. Egg number 4. Alright, we're really starting to fluff up now. Alright, and then we're going to get ready to go ahead and add egg number 5, and then after that we'll go ahead and start incorporating our flour into the mixture. Alright, there's our last egg. And you give it that one last good mix, alright? Okay, now we're good, smooth and creamy. Okay, so before starting this process, I sifted my flour, and I'm going to show you all how I do it. So I just have a regular hand sifter, just pour the flour right on top, right into it, and then go ahead, there's a little handle right there. That's all I do, sift my flour just like that. And then I just pour a little bit at a time. Don't overfill it until I have all of the flour sifted. And then I poured it, returned it back to the silver bowl, and then went ahead and started the process of getting the cake together. Alright, so we have all our flour sifted now in this bowl over here. So we're going to add it to our cake batter. Alright, so a cup at a time. I just left my measuring cup in there for when I measured how much flour that I needed. So put a cup in there, make sure you mix it until it starts to at least try to cream up, and then you can go ahead and add a little bit more at a time. And I'll show you all this process as well, just so you can also, like I said before with adding the eggs, so you can see how the consistency of the batter changes as you mix your cake together. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add more flour to our cake mixture. Now keep in mind, we did not blend this cake on a high speed. It's on like the lowest speed of this hand mixer, and then I went sped it up as I needed to, slowed it down as I needed to, pulled it up as I needed to as it was getting a little tough. Cooking is really intuitive, y'all. So just as you go, make the necessary adjustments and you'll be fine. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and scrape the sides of the bowl just to make sure that I have things fully incorporated before I add this last bit of flour. This is the last bit of flour that we're going to add, and then we're going to be good to go. We're going to go ahead and add our remaining liquid, blend this up a little bit more, and then add the cake to our bump pan. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add our oil. And then we're also going to add lemon extract. I ended up adding more than that. I think some of it evaporated while it was sitting in that little dish. Alright, and our 7-Up. And we're going to go ahead and give that a good mix. Okay, just make sure it's well blended. And then we're going to go in with our spoon as well to make sure we scrape the sides and give it a nice mix with a heavy spoon to finish it off. Okay, we're good to go. So now we're going to get ready to go ahead and put our mixture into our bundt pan. All right, so hands down, the best spray ever is this Baker's Joy spray. And you're all going to see at the end how easy this cake came out of this pan using this marvelous spray. It already has flour in it, so it's perfect for any kind of baking. All right, so we're just going to lay our batter into the bundt pan. I just try to go around and make sure that it's even as possible. All right, and then at the, when I'm done with that, then we'll go ahead and smooth the top of it. So just keep going around until you have all of the batter layered into the pan. And this is just an average size bundt pan, y'all. So you don't need anything spectacular, just an average size bundt pan. And then just go ahead and layer it, turn it as you go. It will not be full by the time that you finish adding all of the cake, which is great because once it bakes, the cake really rises to the top of the bundt pan. So it's just enough filling for this cake, for this bundt pan. Okay, so we're at that point where we can go ahead and smooth it at the top. Just try to get it as nice and smooth as possible, and also clean up any additional areas that are needed from splashing. All right, so it's out of the oven. Look how pretty that cake is, nice and brown. So you want to let it cool for at least 30 minutes and then go ahead and invert it onto a plate. So just put a plate on top of it, and all you do is get a good grip on it and flip it over. And I always cross my fingers regardless, because you never know with cakes. All right, that cake came right out of that pan. That's why I always use Baker's Joy cooking spray. All right, so now we're going to make a glaze. You need powdered sugar, then you need lemon extract, and you're also going to need more 7-Up. So have powdered sugar in a bowl. I'm just going to fluff it up a little bit because I had this powdered sugar in the cabinet, and add everything right in. All right, the lemon extract, the 7-Up, and all you do is you give it a good whisk until it's nice and smooth. You don't have to add the 7-Up in a little bit at a time or anything like that. Just add everything in. All you need is a whisk, and it'll start to smooth. After your glaze is done, go ahead and start to drizzle it over your cake. So I just use a heavy spoon and just go over it and just drizzle, drizzle, and drizzle until all the cake, well, most of the cake is covered in glaze. It won't be completely covered in glaze, but it'll be covered enough. Now, this glaze does feel it makes like a little pool in the middle of your bundt cake. What you can do is once the glaze dries, you can transfer the cake to another dish, and then you're good to go. But what I typically do is just leave the glaze in the middle of the cake. It doesn't make it like soggy. It gives it extra flavor. And then I also take a little bit of it and just like spread it on a slice once I cut my cake. So it's completely up to you. But the glaze gets kind of, I don't know. It's not like cheesecake-like, but it's a little smooth. It's still soft, and it's just really good. So it's completely up to you what you decide to do as far as your cake goes. But if you're going to transfer it, of course, make sure to be very gentle when you move the cake. This cake is pretty solid, so you shouldn't have any issues, but just err on the side of caution. Okay, and so once I have all the glaze on the cake, just because the glaze is not just beautiful, because 7-Up cake is not typically dressed with powdered sugar, but I just added a little bit on there because you see it's dry and it looks a little, So put some powdered sugar into my sifter. You don't need a whole lot, and then just kind of tap it. You don't necessarily have to squeeze the handle. Just kind of tap it, go around, and put your powdered sugar on the cake. Just to make look cute, a little fallish, a winterish. Just add a little pizzazz. All right, and I'm gonna show y'all. We can end this video without slicing this cake for y'all. Okay. All right, so our cake is good to go. So I went ahead and grabbed a large knife to go ahead and cut this cake. When you bake a cake in a butt pan, because of how the butt pan is shaped, it creates what I call ridges. So just cut in between the ridges of the cake. Look at that. Smooth like butter. See how that knife came out clean? I baked this cake for about an hour and 5 minutes. Look. Y'all, look at that. Look at that. And y'all see it kind of drizzling at the bottom. Once it completely dries, it won't do that. And you have a nice piece of 7-Up cake, y'all. Perfect for the holidays. You have Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas coming up. Perfect any time of the year, but especially for the holidays, while your family and your guests with this 7-Up pound cake. As always, we hope that you enjoyed this recipe. Please like this video, share it, subscribe to our channel, and we'll definitely catch y'all next time.